Hey, I'm Brad Roth, and you're listening to the Passive Investor Show.
The views and opinions provided on this show are for informational purposes only and should not be misinterpreted as an offer to buy or sell any securities or to make or consider any investment or course of action. For more information, please go to passiveinvestorshow.com. Hey, PI listeners, this is John Fortes. I'm making it a point to speak to as many investors as possible. My goal is to position myself to be a blessing to my network through conversation. How could one be a blessing through conversation? The easy answer is by listening. A simple conversation can open many opportunities and doors. I always ask myself this: what do I have to lose by having one more conversation? Going back to high school, I've connected friends and family in my network to one another, even if it didn't benefit me. And I continue those same principles and practices. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. If I can't help you, I probably know someone or something that can probably solve your problem. I'd love for you to become a part of that network. Go to www.johnfortes.com, create your investor profile, and schedule a call. How can I best serve you through conversation? In the words of Clarence the Angel from It's a Wonderful Life, no man is a failure who has friends.
And now, the Passive Investor Show. Here's your host, John Fortes.
Welcome, PI listeners, to the Passive Investor Show. I'm the Passive Investor Consultant, John Fortes, your host of the only ranked podcast for passive investors in multifamily syndications and real estate funds. Our goal and purpose of this show is to be a resource to investors and help them master their passive investments by beating inflation 1% at a time. Just in case you didn't get enough of Brad Roth, we brought him back for our infamous Investor 101 series. It's great to have you back, Brad. Thank you for
Thanks
your
for
time.
having me, John. Hey, PI listeners, what's happening? Let's do it.
Awesome. So here's a few things where investment firms, they asset manage and they need to approach brokers and build that relationship. But also, why is this important for passive investors? Is because to understand what that process looks like for that brokerage firm to build that relationship, as well as build that relationship with you. So we're building relationships with this hand, but also building relationships with the right hand as we marry those together when we find the right investment opportunity. So Brad, can you explain to us and walk us down the do's and don'ts on how to approach a broker?
Great question, by the way. Thank you for asking it. You know, the do's and don'ts. So I would say find a broker. A do is find a broker that you trust and that you get along with, because it's like a marriage. You're going to be in it with them for a while. So really, you guys should like one another and get along and communicate. And I would say a do is tell your broker what to expect and what you expect. So say, hey, I expect to have updates. I expect to be called. I want you to tell me about investments by email or by phone, whatever you really prefer. And you can work harmonious together. A don't worry about what commission a broker is making. Don't worry about whether or not you can trust them, because if you feel like, hey, I don't really trust my broker, that's not the broker for you. It really has to. I fire clients all the time. I mean, when I started, I would take anybody I could. And as I got older and a little bit more successful, I don't want to work with everyone. It's just not worth it to me. And it's not worth the headache of feeling like someone doesn't trust me. So a do and a don't. Listen, again, find a broker who, like, I'm over the top. I've got a great fun attitude, right? And I'm really energetic. It might not be for everybody. So you have to find that broker that's for you. You know, John, in a past episode I was on with you, you had mentioned Zig Ziglar, right? Well, Zig Ziglar, one of my favorite quotes from him is, it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that will determine your altitude, right? So you want to make sure that your broker, the do's and don'ts. Do you want a broker who has a great attitude? Do you want a broker who's going to take you to the sky? How does he get along with other real estate agents or other investment firms such as yourself? How does he or she, how do they get prospective investments? Do they have a relationship? Because in my business, I believe everything is built on relationships. So do you have a good relationship with your broker? If you don't, what are you doing to meet brokers? How much experience do they have in what you're looking for? And do they have a strategy? Do they have a strategy? It's really important. And if they don't, why are you with them? What is their strategy? What do they want to do? What have they been doing with their money? How are they building passive income? Are they? Have they ever? That's my advice for the do's and don'ts.
I love it. I love it. So find someone you can trust, share your criteria, and don't worry about the commission.
Yeah.
And if you don't trust them, find someone else.
Yeah. Worry about, and I always tell people when it comes to commission, John, worry about how much money you're going to end up keeping in your pocket, not about what they're going to take in their pocket. Because this is what they do. I tell people all the time, let me build value in what I do. Let me show you what I do. Don't worry about what I'm putting in my pocket. Worry about what you're going to be left with in yours. Let's make sure that we're all happy, because I don't work for free. It's not what I do.
Brad, tell the listeners how we can stay in touch with you.
You can reach me at brad@atrepodcast.com. That's brad@atrepodcast.com. You can go to any major podcast site, Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Type in All Things Real Estate with Brad Roth, and I have a weekly show. And I would love to gain some PI listeners. There's no listeners like PI listeners, the very, very best.
Ah, man, you're too kind, man. Brad, thank you for stopping by. We really enjoyed the conversation, and we appreciate you.
And I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to download your free copy of the investment tracker. It allows you to track up to 5 investments, compare sponsors, markets, and most importantly, projected versus actual returns. To get your copy, go to www.projectedreturns.com. PI listeners, thank you for listening. As always, we hope this was the best resource for your investment strategy, but also the best use of your time. Remember, if this episode helps you, you can help us by leaving a review on iTunes. I hope you feel compelled enough to share it with someone you think this would resonate with as well. As much as it pains us to leave you, but you know what time it is. Time to go put this into practice. Till the next time we meet, happy investing. PI listeners, I'm grateful for your time and I appreciate you for listening. It would mean the world to me if you went to iTunes and left a rating and written review. Let me know how you feel about the show. It really makes a big difference with getting the podcast out there. Don't forget about our Facebook group, where all of our guests are members of. I'll be there to answer any of your questions, or even questions you might have for future guests. Subscribe so you can get the latest episodes and our fan favorite quick hitters. Finally, I want to keep you updated, so head over to johnfortes.com and sign up for the newsletter. If you're interested in partnering with me, sign up on the contact page so you can talk to me directly. I look forward to connecting with you. Happy investing.